Hello, my booktube friends. I have another book that came in the mail. This is Derby Days and Other Adventures by A. Edward Newton. And it came in a paper envelope that was slightly padded with bubble wrap. But it's one of those strange book wrapping cases. This is saran wrap, like the kind you use in your kitchen. And every once in a while, I have a book delivered where the only thing protecting the book between the package it has shipped in is common kitchen saran wrap or plastic wrap. So I am going to take this saran off, and it's not even wrapped very well. I would assume the thinking here is that this saran will, I guess, prevent it from rubbing up against the inside of the padded envelope and protect it from any scuffs, but I find it rather curious. But as you can see, this book is in very nice condition. We've got the paper label on the front here, and this is cloth, kind of a checkerboard picnic table almost pattern, which I suppose is meant to match this theme of Derby days and horse racing. But this paper label on the front here is in absolutely perfect condition, lovely pale green. We have a paper label on the spine as well. It looks a little bit worn, more worn than the one on the front, because this white border is a little bit faded in spots, but this label is a tan brown color. Once again, the title, Derby Day and Other Adventures by A. Edward Newton. Nice book all around. The top of the book is dyed a pale green, but the other sides of the pages are not. It's just the top that has been given this treatment here. The bottom, not that pale green. But we will open it up here, and I will toss that aside. I'm assuming that's my receipt there with the label. So here we have Derby Day and Other Adventures, 1934, Little Brown and Company, Boston. Wonderful frontispiece here from an original painting apparently owned by A. Edward Newton, titled Rounding Tattenham Corner. And if we look closely, we can see it is a painting of a horse race. And turning to our copyright page. So this is the September 1934 edition, but the original copyright is for 1932, reprinted in 33, and then reprinted in 34 in the United States. Atlantic Monthly Press Books, published by Little Brown and Company in association with the Atlantic Monthly Company. Many of A. Edward Newton's essays and articles were first published in the Atlantic Monthly. 60 years ago in Rahway, New Jersey, my playmate was William C. Van Antwerp, now a distinguished citizen of San Francisco. To him I dedicate this book, A. Edward Newton. And we have some quotes here. To adjourn Parliament over Derby Day is a part of the unwritten law of England. Lord Palmerston. Authors, like running horses, should be fed, not fattened. Oliver Goldsmith. Publishers generally endorse this statement. A. Edward Newton is commenting on Goldsmith's line there. And a quote from John Dryden: "Be fair or foul, or rain or shine, the joys I have possessed in spite of fate are mine. Not heaven itself upon the past has power, but what has been, and I have had my hour." And so we've got our table of contents here, beginning with the Derby, Ascot, off to the Grand National. A book collector goes to the dogs. Adventures in London, morning. Adventures in London, noon and night. Adventures in Ghost Square. Franklin and Johnson meet at Mr. Strands, Adventures Westward, The Course of Empire, Adventures at the Hearst Ranch, Adventures in San Francisco, Vienna and I and Budapest, The Bronte Country, my first visit, followed by The Bronte Country, my second visit, and an index. So this is the missing collection of A. Edward Newton's essays and articles. I have all his other ones. It was just Derby Day and Other Adventures that was missing here. There's a list of the illustrations. We begin with a race course at Epsom. There's a map there. But these chapters will all have topics related to literature and book collecting, and obviously by the title there will be significant content on horse racing, I believe particularly horse racing in England, and I'm sure he's going to talk about books related to horse racing as well, because pretty much every essay he's ever published is related to books or literature in some way. A nice illustration there. But this is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful copy, and I'm going to be pleased to add this to my shelves.